SAARC, comprising India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Afghanistan, and the Maldives, represents nearly a quarter of the world's population, yet remains one of the least integrated regions in terms of trade. Intra-regional trade among SAARC nations accounts for just 6% of their total trade, a dismal figure largely attributed to strained relations between neighbors. Despite this, SAARC countries play a significant role in global dairy exports, with Bangladesh being a leading importer of Indian dairy products. In this narrative, we will explore how neighboring countries influence the growth of Indian dairy exports. With India holding substantial stocks of skimmed milk powder and butter, the search for reliable trade partners within SAARC is crucial. We will delve into India's export competitiveness in these markets and the potential for strengthening regional trade ties in the dairy sector. India, the world's largest milk producer, contributes less than 0.5% to global dairy exports. Despite our vast production capacity, our share in international trade remains minimal. However, in recent years, our dairy exports, particularly milk powder, to neighboring SAARC countries have seen significant activity. In 2021, exports to the SAARC region peaked, accounting for 33% of our total dairy exports. But since 23, this figure has declined, hovering around 15 to 16%. This fluctuation underscores the potential and challenges in leveraging our dairy prowess to strengthen trade within our own region. Among the SAARC nations, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Nepal emerge as key importers of Indian dairy products. While Nepal and Bhutan have consistently imported dairy goods from India, Bangladesh's trajectory has been nothing short of remarkable. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Bangladesh's imports of Indian dairy products, primarily milk powder, soared to a staggering Rs 550 to 650 crores in 2021 and 2022. When it comes to butter exports, Bhutan and Nepal have proven to be more reliable partners for India than most other neighboring countries. Bhutan's butter imports have been consistent and are on a growth trajectory, solidifying its position as a steady market for Indian butter. Nepal, though a strong partner, has shown a slight decline in its butter imports of late. However, Bangladesh emerged as a notable exception in 2021 and 2022, with butter imports peaking at around Rs 20 crores. Despite this surge, Bhutan and Nepal remain more stable markets, underscoring the importance of nurturing these long-term relationships in the region. When examining India's milk powder exports to its neighboring countries, Bangladesh clearly stands out as the leader, followed by Bhutan, which has consistently imported from India. Bangladesh imported significant volumes of skimmed milk powder from India in 21 and 22, underscoring its strong demand during those days. Bhutan, with its steady and reliable import pattern, has proven to be a consistent partner in this sector. Meanwhile, Nepal has been gradually improving its own milk production and powder conversion capacities, positioning itself as a developing market with growing self-reliance. Despite this, Bangladesh's significant imports during the peak years highlight its importance as a key player in India's regional dairy export strategy. However, in 2023, this trend took a sharp downturn. India, once a favored supplier, became one of the costliest options for Bangladesh, with Ukraine and other European and oceanic nations offering far more competitive prices. Even in 22, when India supplied 90% of its exported powder to Bangladesh, it accounted for only 15% of Bangladesh's total powder imports. In a striking comparison, Bangladesh powder imports in that year exceeded the entire value of India's dairy exports across all products. This narrative underscores the volatile nature of regional trade dynamics and the need for India to reassess its position in the competitive global dairy market. If we look at trade flow of milk powders to Bangladesh, then we find New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, Poland, France, Germany, USA, Lithuania, Denmark, etc. as the one whose export growth in the world is higher than the import growth in Bangladesh. While other countries in which India is also one of the country, like Netherlands, Singapore, UK, Czech Republic, Belgium, Ukraine, etc., whose export growth in the world is less than the import growth of powder in Bangladesh. In 2023, the share of Indian milk powder in Bangladesh import was hardly 0.8%, with around 830 metric ton of powder exported from India out of 115,000 metric ton imported by Bangladesh. In between 2019 to 2023, India has shown a degrowth of 2% in value and 17% in quantities in imports. From 22 to 23, this degrowth exceeded to 96% in terms of value in the imports of Bangladesh for powders. Bangladesh has a global SMP import share of 1.7% and its global ranking as SMP importer is 18. The average distance of supplying country is 9,258 kilometers as against 1,524 kilometers in case of India as a partner. Concentration in terms of buying country is 0.38, which is pretty high and also evident from the fact that in 2023 New Zealand was having a market share of over 60% in Bangladesh import of milk powder. Under these circumstances, India's position as a reliable dairy export partner to Bangladesh appears tenuous. Without proactive bilateral agreements and strengthened ties at both the country and SAARC levels, India risks losing ground in this critical market. The recent political instability in Bangladesh only adds to the uncertainty, further complicating the outlook for Indian dairy exports. To secure a foothold, the Indian dairy industry must intensify its efforts to become more competitive globally. Relying heavily on Bangladesh to offload current stocks of skim milk powder is no longer a viable strategy, especially when other countries are offering more competitive pricing despite various overheads and environmental levies. At the end, I can only recommend that India must diversify its export strategy, exploring new markets and reducing dependency on Bangladesh. Until the regional situation stabilizes and India's stock levels are brought to a manageable level, the focus should be on innovation, cost reduction, and market expansion to ensure long-term sustainability and growth in the global dairy industry. Thank you for watching. For more insights, more features, subscribe to our channel, Dairy News 7x7.